Hey guys, and welcome to episode 14 of Final Fantasy VI. This time around, we are en route to pick up a new party member. And unfortunately, I don't really get to redeem myself for nearly dying to the Phantom Train at the end of last episode. In fact, I kind of make matters a little bit worse for myself, but it's all good, man, because getting my ass kicked a couple times definitely helped me to remember a few things about the game. My rust has definitely shown quite a bit since starting this playthrough. Yeah, I'm drawing blanks quite often. But what I've done here is, after that first battle, I was like, oh shit, I'm pretty sure Shadow can still take off on me here. So I went ahead and took some preventative measures from him taking off, wearing all my gear that I got for him, because basically he can take off in these random encounters in between now and Baren Falls, but he definitively takes off before you go into Baren Falls. He just pretty much takes off, like he usually does. So the standard operating procedure here is to go ahead and strip him of all of his gear and relics. It's the smart thing to do. And I went ahead and tried to make my relics make a little bit more sense for Sabin and Cyan. Man, oh man, I cannot tell you how long it's been really since I've just done relic combos and just made sense of what's going on here. The earrings are a big help to Sabin at this point because I'm pretty much stuck with Aura Bolt. He's yet to learn Fire Dance, but even if I did have Fire Dance, earrings would be pretty awesome for that as well, as they're going to boost my spell damage, and I'm not really doing any physical damage with Sabin whatsoever right now. So earrings are the obvious choice for me at the moment, and I'm going to make Cyan pretty much a beast at this point. I think I elected to equip him with a black belt at this juncture, and I don't really remember honestly what else I put in there. It might have been the hyper wrist that I picked up, which is pretty much worthless, but I will get some use out of it honestly, because I have neglected to pick up at least a couple pretty useful relics that I could definitely be using right now to great effect. But anyway, there goes Shadow, and why not, man? Let's go ahead and jump off and take a nice little bath in Baren Falls. You know, hopefully it'll take us to the destination we're looking to go towards. And here we go. As soon as I saw these things pop up, I thought, you know what? This is a gimmick. I mean, I've done this fight so many times, yet I find myself in it, and I just can't quite remember what's going on here. And trust me, guys, I still, you know, this is post-commentary, obviously, but I think I realized what was going on with this fight after I finished, and I'm not 100%, and I'm getting quite used to and embarrassed saying that in my own walkthrough, but I don't really do research into games, guys. I play them, and I try to figure out stuff for myself. That's really it. Like, I rarely ever look anything up, and unless it's just something really obscure or it's something that I just need to know for one reason or another, then I just try to teach myself what the hell's going on. But anyway, especially after like the third wave of these piranhas, I was like, okay, I think I've pretty much messed this up somehow. This cannot be it. And as soon as the boss came out, I thought to myself, oh lord, I think I know what's coming here. But then he casted ice on me, and I thought, no, that's not what's coming, huh? You know, I don't know, after all, you know, what the hell is going on here? And then here it comes. El Nino. El fucking Nino. Excuse the language, man, but holy hell. Yeah, after El Nino hit, I thought, I'm pretty sure he doesn't cast that if you decide to leave those piranhas alive. Just throwing that out there, man. I'm pretty sure that's what the mechanic is. I think that you can actually wait out those piranhas, and the more you leave on the screen, the better in terms of the bosses or the final bosses' abilities. Not 100% on that, but I'm pretty damn positive that's what happens in that boss fight. But anyways, guys, this isn't a walkthrough or anything like that. This is just, I kind of go back to the very first episode of this. This is a leisure run, man. Like, I don't pretend to know everything about the game, but I know a pretty good deal. I've played the game many times, and it's pretty much just instinct now. My memory on lots of the specifics of abilities and boss mechanics is definitely rusty, but as I play, I start to remember stuff. But anyway, man, this little guy right here, Gal, that's how I pronounce it, at least. A lot of these characters' names, they're kind of open to interpretation in terms of pronunciation. I've always called him Gal, and you could probably flip it several different ways, but I've always gone with Gal. It just makes sense to me. It sounds sort of like a noise that he would make, to be honest. He's a bit of a feral individual, and really, really charming character. I wouldn't put him among my favorites, but he's definitely charming, and let there be no doubt, man, he is one useful character, as you guys will find out very, very shortly. And in fact, the next episode I do is going to be a very short grind session in the Veldt. And this place is very intriguing. It's got all kinds of very dangerous monsters, some not so dangerous, but they're an accumulation of the monsters that you've met in the world so far. You do not get any experience for killing them. 0 experience, but you do get GP, the currency in this game, and the primary function of these monsters is that once you have acquired Gal into your party, he has an ability called Leap, okay? And what that allows him to do is to leap onto one of these creatures, and then he will sort of disappear for X number of fights, and then he will magically reappear after you have slain an enemy. And once he comes back into your party, he will have learned the abilities of that particular enemy. So, very, very useful. He can acquire a incredibly diverse range of abilities that are very potent and useful. But basically, we cannot acquire Gal right now. We have to make it to this town on the, I think it's like the far eastern side of the Veldt. And what this town is going to do for us is it's going to give us a much welcome supply of armor, weapons, items, and relics. Now, the primary thing to pick up is dried meat. And what that is going to allow us to do is acquire Gal into our party. Because right now, all we can really do is either run or smack him here. He's not going to do anything. What you need is the dried meat. And once you feed him that dried meat, he starts to warm up to you pretty quickly. In fact, he follows you for the rest of the game after you feed him just the one time. Nice guy, right? Pretty trusting guy. But anyway, here is Mobliz. And what we have here, guys, for the next, I want to say 7 or 8 minutes, is a hefty immersion and restocking session. Now, the restocking part comes first, and I've sort of sped that up to, sped it up to 250x speed here. It's a pretty significant segment where I'm just sort of looking through these items, trying to figure out what I need. And primarily what I'm doing here is I'm trying to prepare for the next scenario, more so than this one. Actually, we're almost finished with Sabin's scenario. So, hallelujah, basically. This is a one lengthy scenario. It's a great one, mind you. It's probably the best, and I go ahead and pick up 2 dried meats there just for good measure. It also serves, actually, really useful fact here. Not necessarily useful, but it's a fun fact, I should say. Dried meat also allows you to heal undead characters, whereas if you use a potion on an undead character, it's going to do damage. So it does serve some function outside of just being the one item you need to acquire Gao into your party. Anyway, we have picked up quite a few items here. I think the big thing was the double kotetsus for Cyan. We're making them a beast now, and as you see, I've equipped Genji Glove and the Black Belt combo. Now, Genji Glove is a really, really good relic. You can combine it with a couple, actually 2 or 3 different relics, and it's really, really damn good. But what I've done now is use Black Belt, and here in a little bit, I think I put Cyan on the front row. I think I forget to do it, of course, at least for a couple battles. But I do remember to do that eventually. Black Belt characters really need to be on the front row. Genji Glove characters as well, obviously. But what the Genji Glove is going to allow me to do, just in case you don't know, is it allows you to wield 2 weapons instead of a weapon and a shield. And what this, in turn, allows you to do is it basically functions as a double auto attack. So the fight ability becomes 2 fights instead of just 1. So pretty nice. Okay, so you combine this with the Black Belt, which automatically, or has a chance to retaliate on a counterattack, or after being hit. You combine these 2 things, and all of a sudden, you have a character that can retaliate twice because he's wearing the Genji Glove. Pretty nice stuff. Might not sound that great just from hearing it, but I can tell you, once you start seeing it in practice, certainly once you start seeing some of these fights that I have on the Veldt, trying to get Gao some rages, you'll see what I mean. It's very effective in clearing the table, and it's just nice, effective, cheap damage that you don't have to waste a turn for. So, really good stuff. Definitely the first powerful relic combination that I've decided to take advantage of, and trust me, this is probably the tamest of the combos you can have with the Genji Glove, at least at this point. Now, this combo will be pretty damn nasty later on once I get beefed up a bit and get some really good weapons. But, for now, this is way better than what I had going on. And, these white capes here, one thing to mention about those, I would have loved to pick up a second white cape, but 5,000 GP, man, that's a little steep. I definitely could have afforded to buy one after I finished up my little grind session here at the Veldt, but, first of all, it probably only gave me like an extra 7 or 8k GP, which isn't very much, but I didn't want to blow 5k of it on the white cape. So, anyway, I guess there is something I should have noted, and I, of course, blabbed over it. This is a great time to kind of backtrack here. But I entered a house earlier with a young soldier who had been wounded, and he had been receiving love letters from his, I guess, significant other. They're not married, I don't believe, but it was his love interest named Lola, and he was an injured warrior, injured soldier, too hurt to even get up out of bed and read the letter. So, out of the kindness of our hearts, we went over, we picked up the letter, and we recited it for him. And, he mentioned something about, hey, I'm too exhausted, I'm too injured to even write her back. That's just so sad, man, so sad. But basically what this is, guys, it's a side quest, and I elected to forego it for the time being. I think you get a Tentabar. I think that's the name of the relic. Not a very good relic, and this is obviously what you get for completing the side quest. but not the best relic. I believe it recovers HP for every step you take, and you know, not that great of a filler relic. I honestly don't think I've ever used it. But anyway, here we are, man. We're back on the Veldt, and we are about to pick up Gal. And actually, guys, I'm about to get out of here. We have quite a lengthy cutscene incoming where we pick up Gal, and it's followed by the most charming tutorial you will probably get in a Final Fantasy game, in my humble opinion. Really, really charming tutorial. Oh, and here's Gal. So I'm out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.